Welcome to the City of Dallas's 40th annual Dr. Martin Luther King Jr.'s virtual parade celebration. My name is Jim Jeffcoat, a former NFL defensive end for the Dallas Cowboys and Buffalo Bills. It is an honor and privilege to serve as this year's Grand Marshal. Traditionally, parades consist of floats, school bands, dancers, elected officials, advertisement from different organizations, entertainment, and much more. Due to the pandemic and everyone trying to recover from this life-changing epidemic, we were tasked with creating a virtual parade. The virtual parade will consist of a collection of photos and videos to show how the City of Dallas has honored and celebrated the life and legacy of Dr. King. You will also hear from current City of Dallas officials and MLK Advisory Board members who will discuss the theme, 40 Years Strong, a look toward the future. Greatness is said to be a small series of things done well, and we all know Dr. King was the epitome of greatness. He lived his life fighting for equality and justice for all people. Let's take a trip down memory lane, so sit back, relax, and enjoy this awesome program.
Hi, I'm Eric Johnson, the mayor of Dallas, and I'm thrilled to honor Dr. Martin Luther King Jr. and his dream for our country. And briefly, what that dream means to me is opportunity. The dream was an acknowledgement that whatever our superficial differences, we all fundamentally want the same thing, a chance to be the best version of ourselves. That's what we're working to provide for people here in Dallas, and it's an ideal that we can all celebrate in honor of Dr. King.
To me, the dream means building an equitable future now rather than later, and dedicate a genuine resources to Black and brown community, and putting an end to redlining, presenting a fair opportunity, and prepare our children for the environmental industrial future now. I know Martin Luther King Jr. dream of dismantling synthetic racism is possible, and it begins by acknowledging the work each of us can do today.
I wish we were together today for the parade, but know that I'm not tired and my team's not tired of working to keep you safe and expand opportunities for the community. Dr. King once said, "The measure of a man is not where he stands in moments of comfort and convenience, but where he stands at times of challenge and controversy." Keep standing tall. I stand with you. Happy MLK Day.
What the dream means to me is a commitment to justice and equality for every American. It means fulfillment of a promise in the U.S. Constitution that every man, woman, and child has the right to life, liberty, and the pursuit of happiness.
Hi, I'm Dr. Elba Garcia, Dallas County Commissioner for District 4. Today, as we commemorate Dr. Martin Luther King Jr., let's take a moment to reflect about the values he fought for. At the same time, let's continue to defend our democracy with equality and justice for all. Hola, hoy que conmemoramos el legado del Dr. Martin Luther King Jr., tomemos un momento para reflexionar en los valores por los que él peleó. Asimismo, continuemos defendiendo nuestra democracia con igualdad y sobre todo libertad para todos. Muchísimas gracias. Thank you.
Hi, my name is Jaime Resendez, member of the Dallas City Council. Dr. Martin Luther King's dream to me is about freedom, the freedom to reach one's full potential. While serving as a member of the Dallas ISD Board of Trustees, I quickly realized that the ability of students to learn is impacted by the freedoms and opportunities to which they are exposed outside of the classroom. Policies related to housing, economic development, criminal justice, transportation, and equity all impact a student's ability to reach their full potential. For those reasons, I decided to run for the Dallas City Council and was fortunate enough to be elected to continue serving my community in Southeast Dallas and Pleasant Grove. Dr. Martin Luther King's dream is about freedom, the freedom to grow and evolve as a human being. It's about access to opportunity, and it's about reaching back to uplift the most vulnerable members of our community.
Hello, I'm Ann Williams, a member of the MLK Advisory Board. And we are so happy that you are joining us this year for the 40th anniversary MLK Parade. Our theme, 40 years strong and looking forward to the future. This theme should remind all of us of the great works that the late Dr. Martin Luther King did during his time here with us. He provided for us a better opportunity for all. Thank you to our sponsors, our participants, and all of Dallas for helping us celebrate and continue his legacy. We look forward to the next 40 years. Enjoy today and be safe.
Hello, I'm Gay Donnell Willis, Dallas City Council District 13. What does the dream mean to me? It means that I must do everything I can every day to shift dream to reality. To do this, I look to the tenets of the dream as spoken by Dr. King on August 28, 1963. I must not forget that there are islands of poverty in the midst of our material prosperity, that we are all given inalienable rights of life, liberty, and the pursuit of happiness, and to remind myself every day that the Bank of Justice is not bankrupt, and to not fall prey to the tranquilizing drug of gradualism, and to remind Dallas of the fierce urgency of now, that my destiny is tied to your destiny, and your destiny to your neighbor's destiny, to be mindful of the content of my character and lead by example. I don't know if justice will roll down like waters and righteousness like a mighty stream, but I know that we can be mindful of the dream, not just 1 week a year, but rather every day as we work to move from dream to reality.
Hello, I'm Pastor Donna Slater, Board Advisory Member of the Dr. Martin Luther King Jr. Community Center, proud representative of the Honorable Jaime Resendez, District 5 and its constituents. The 2022 Dr. Martin Luther King Jr. celebration theme, 40 Years Strong, A Look Towards the Future, has a significant meaning to me altogether. Generally, the number 40 symbolizes a period of testing, trial, and probation. During Moses' life, he lived 40 years in Egypt and then 40 years in the desert before God selected him to lead his people from slavery. Moses was also on the Mount Sinai for 40 days and 40 nights and came back with the laws received from God. He also sent spies out to spy on the land that God had promised all of the Israelites, an inheritance. Jonah powerfully warned ancient Nineveh for 40 days that its destruction would come because of its many sins. Jesus himself was tempted by the devil, not just 3 times, but many times during the 40 days and nights he fasted. And yet, before his ministry, Jesus was tempted by the devil not just 3 times, but many times during the 40 days and nights he fasted before his ministry began. This year's theme, 40 Years Strong, A Look Towards the Future, leads me to connect of the strength of the number 40. Understand, Moses did lead his people out of slavery. And after being on Mount Sinai for 40 days and 40 nights, he did come back with the 10 Commandments. And also, Joshua came back with him after 40 days with a good report of the land that God had promised them. Jonah, he preached for those 40 days, and the people of Nineveh repented. And even though Jesus was tempted by the devil, the many times during the 40 days and nights of fasting and praying, Jesus withstood in victory. This year's theme, 40 Years Strong, A Look Towards the Future, lets me know that although the trials, although the injustice, and although the testing, 40 years strong leads to victory. It leads to each leg of the future to become wiser, stronger, and better. 40 years strong, a look toward the future is hope for our future. Thank you and God bless you.
The dream of Martin Luther King Jr. is a promise that we elected officials must keep. We must use every tool at our disposal, our money, our data, our people, and our time to bring people of color up to the same place of prosperity and privilege as others. We must use those tools to make sure that equity is not just a buzzword, but a lens through which we make every decision and spend every dollar. When every person, regardless of skin color, national background, gender, or status, has the same opportunity to provide for their families and grow as an individual, then we will have completed our work. Until then, we must remain vigilant and tireless in our pursuit of the important dream set forth by our leader, Martin Luther King Jr. in 1963.
Hi, I'm Eddie Glaude, and I'm delighted to welcome you to the 40th City of Dallas MLK Day Parade. This year, our theme is 40 Years Strong, a look towards the future. You know, celebrating Dr. King in this time is really important. Why? It seems as if we're at each other's throats in this country. The divisions are so deep, they're so intense. Fears and hatred, panic seems to have the nation by the throat. But it's important in this moment, on this day, to take a step back, to look at the life and legacy of Dr. King as an example of how we might respond in our own time of storm and stress. There are three elements of Dr. King's life that always come to mind when I think of him. One is the importance of character. He was a man of faith, a man who believed, despite the violence directed at him, that if he stood steadfast in his belief, that he could in fact impact and change the world. Also, there was a deep commitment that informed his ministry. He wanted to bear witness to suffering, but he wanted to change the world. And that commitment to a new Jerusalem informed and drove how he chose to sacrifice and live his life. And of course, the last is courage. His willingness to speak truth to power no matter what. This is what we need. We need people of character, people of commitment, people of courage, willing in these dark times to speak the truth, to fight on behalf of a more just society, to fight in the name of the New Jerusalem that Dr. King gave his life for. Remember, I was thinking about this as I was struggling with how we might celebrate Dr. King's life in this difficult hour. And the words of James Baldwin came to mind. Baldwin said, "There is never a time in the future in which we will work out our salvation. The time is always now." There's never a time in the future to work out our salvation. The time is always now. As we celebrate Dr. King in the city of Dallas together, let's understand the importance of character, of commitment, and courage. And let's understand that the time is now for all of us together, strong, 40 years strong, to fight for a more just America, a more just Dallas, a more just world. Thank you and welcome.
I'm going to make this kind of personal. I was born in Dallas, grew up in Pleasant Grove. I've always known about the MLK Center, but I really didn't know how important it was until several years ago when I actually found myself permanently disabled, unemployed, lost a good job, on the verge of losing my home. And I had run out of money, run out of options. I didn't want to make the phone call. I was scared, but I'm so happy I did. And I arranged a time to come into the center and visit with the caseworker. And they helped me apply for a housing program. And I had to jump through a bunch of hoops. I'll never forget it. It was in November, right before Thanksgiving. They had a bunch of extra boxes of groceries for people to fix meals with, and I was given one. I was so excited. It was the best Thanksgiving I'd had in a long time. And so here we are now. And life's good. I got to keep my house. And actually, I'm still disabled, but I'm not dead. And last year I was asked to serve on the MLK Advisory Board. And I was so excited to do that because, first of all, I can take my life experiences. I know exactly how people feel when they have to apply for services. I know the process. But also, I can be a cheerleader for the staff here at MLK Center. They do amazing things. There's a lot of preparation and a lot of hard work that goes into the events and the services they provide people. I'm just one of the many of thousands that the MLK Center has helped over the last 40 years. And the one thing I've learned is anybody can find themselves in a situation where they may need some help. I take good comfort knowing that MLK Center is here to do that. I like to think that Dr. King is staring down from above and he smiles every time he looks down because he sees the good things that are going on down here at the MLK Center every single day to benefit people of Dallas. So, happy birthday, MLK. Here's to a many, many, many more, and to a better Dallas.
Hello, everyone. My name is Candace Wicks. I am the Vice Chair of the Martin Luther King Community Advisory Board, and I represent the City of Dallas, District 3. My councilman is the Honorable Casey Thomas II. At this time, I'd like to just share with you a few reflections of the 40 years of the parade. And I can vividly remember being in elementary school. I may have been around the age of 10 or 11 when the first Martin Luther King Community Center Parade became an official event. And I was so excited to see the DISD bands, of course, the Corvette clubs and the fancy cars, rolling down the street here on MLK Boulevard. I always love to see the Greeks, the National Paralympic Council organizations have always been a part of the parade, but I am so happy to say that I remember in 1999, we unified those organizations and marched under one umbrella together. And as a member of Delta Sigma Theta Sorority Incorporated Dallas Alumni Chapter, I have marched in the parade on many, many occasions with my Greek brothers and sisters, and I always did enjoy it. It was always a wonderful time. I also appreciate the fact that all walks of life in the city of Dallas supported the MLK parade. We had those that had jobs, those that did not. We had the homeless. We just had a gamut of people that supported that one event. And the parade is such an event where it brings people together. And that's what I loved about it. Over the course of 40 years, we haven't had any incidences at the Martin Luther King parade. It has been peaceful. The people have been unified in spirit, and it celebrates Dr. Martin Luther King at his finest. And I do appreciate each and every one of you for being with us today and sharing the reflections of our entire board. Thank you for your support of the MLK Center.
Hello, young people. And you're all young people if you're not 95. I'm Opal Lee. I'm told I'm the grandmother of Juneteenth, and it's an honor to welcome you to the City of Dallas's 40th annual celebration of the life and legacy of Dr. Martin Luther King Jr. It's going to be an amazing week of events highlighting issues of equality, diversity, and opportunity. Thanks to the mayor and the city officials and organizers and participants of this year's events. What a wonderful way to reflect on the life and work of a great man who led a movement that moved this country forward as he fought against segregation and poverty and war. You all know I hold true a quote that he said first: "None of us are free until we're all free." Let's continue to do our part to make America a better nation.
I grew up in Memphis, Tennessee, a city with a tragic link to Dr. King. When I was a young child, I couldn't understand why someone would want to kill a minister who just wanted to make sure everyone was treated equally. As I grew up, I came to understand just how ugly and at times violent racism and other forms of othering and discrimination could be. In college, I would start the journey that has led me to be an activist for the LGBTQ community, of which I'm a member. And it was during this journey that I gained a deeper appreciation of Dr. King's work and an ever-growing admiration of the man himself. I realized that the work I was doing wouldn't be possible without the foundation that was laid by him and others, such as John Lewis, Bayard Rustin, Harvey Milk, and others too countless to list. In thinking about this year's theme, I'm reminded of the email signature I set over 15 years ago, a quote from Dr. King. "The arc of the moral universe is long, but it bends toward justice." That arc doesn't bend on its own, though. Dr. King and so many others who came before are pulling on that arc from one end, but it is up to us in the present and the generations that we must inspire coming after us to grab the other end of that arc and pull with all of our might to see that it reaches that point of justice. I encourage the outstanding young people who are receiving scholarships today to be inspired by the work that has been done before you and to do all that you can to bend that arc a little further and to pass on to those that come after you a passion for this good fight.
Hey everyone, Congressman Colin Allred here. Today we come together to honor the life and legacy of Dr. Martin Luther King, a titan of the civil rights movement and a leader around the world and throughout history for equality. I know that my story would not have been possible without the work of Dr. King and so many other leaders and ordinary folks who worked tirelessly, marched, and even bled to ensure that every person, no matter the color of their skin, could chase their version of the American dream. I'm a former voting rights lawyer. Just like so many of you, I know what's at stake in our democracy right now and why we have to do all we can to protect it and to live up to Dr. King's legacy. So now it's on us to pick up the torch and to continue the work to ensure equal rights and justice for all, whether that be for advancing voting rights, criminal justice reform, LGBTQ rights, women's rights, or more. It's up to us to make Dr. King's dream a reality now. Thank you so much.
Greetings. As an honored member of the MLK Jr. Advisory Board, appointed by Councilmember Jesse Moreno and representing District 2, I am excited to celebrate Dr. Martin Luther King Jr. 40 years, a look toward the future. Our 40th annual celebration embodies the commitment to use our unique gifts and talents to fight against injustices and look toward a future of social, financial, and racial equity. As we look toward the future, we celebrate the difference that one person can make, a change that evolves from the idea that one can make a difference. Dr. Martin Luther King Jr. was that one, and we can be the one to make a difference in our communities today. Dr. Martin Luther King Jr. spoke to a group of junior high school students in Philadelphia and asked the question, what is your life's blueprint? We should ask the same question of ourselves. What is your life's blueprint? A beautifully constructed blueprint can erect change by being involved and committed to love, respect, and self-worth. Thank you for the opportunity to participate in the 40th annual celebration of Dr. Martin Luther King Jr.
I'm Pamela Jones, the manager here at the Martin Luther King Jr. Community Center, and we hope you have enjoyed the stroll down memory lane, which showcased the many outstanding parades of the past, which celebrated the life and legacy of Dr. King.
We are hoping that we will change for the better, and we will be able to celebrate next year in person.
We believe 2023 will be a dynamic year, and we look forward to working with our sponsors and community partners to make the 2023 parade a success.
Please follow us on all social media outlets to know what's happening next at the center. You can follow us on Facebook and Twitter at MLKCC Dallas or visit our website at dallasmlkcenter.com.
See you all next year.